Hello and welcome to Phantom Forces Weapons Spotlight, a series where I give a more subdued and informative look on the weapons of Phantom Forces. In this episode, I'll be covering the UMP45. The UMP45 is a PDW unlocked at rank 5, and it's the first slow fire rate quote-unquote PDW that you can unlock. It deals 38 damage up to 60 studs and falls off to 21 damage by 100 studs. It fires at 600 RPM and has a 1x body multiplier and 1.4x head multiplier. The muzzle velocity is 1500 studs per second and the penetration depth is 1.4 studs. Here is the shots to kill table. It has low recoil and carries 25 rounds in the magazine with 125 rounds in reserve of .45 ACP rounds. It has a reload speed of 2.3 seconds and an empty reload speed of 2.9 seconds. It has a very respectable 14 walk speed and very fast 15 aim speed. The UMP45 is a PDW that looks and feels a little bad at first glance, but is in fact quite reliable and versatile. It excels at close to medium ranges, but can also hold its own beyond that range due to its low recoil, despite the low damage. And also, despite the slow fire rate, it's not actually that bad in close range, and it can 2-shot kill to the head at, close to medium range. Couple this with its rather low recoil, you get a really good close range precision weapon. Speaking of which, I should also address the recoil. It has some pretty above average model recoil, but it's something you can get used to pretty quickly if you put your mind to it. Overall, the UMP45 is a reliable and easy weapon to use that is versatile enough to compete in ranges it really shouldn't be able to on paper. It's a solid low A-tier weapon that many people overlook. The .40 Smith & Wesson conversion gives you better long-range performance at the cost of close-range performance. It now deals 32 damage up to 72 studs and falls up to 24 damage by 133 studs. The fire rate is increased to 650 RPM, but the body and head multipliers remain the same, while the muzzle velocity is increased to 1800 studs per second, and the penetration depth is also the same. Here is the shots to kill table. The recoil is tweaked a little bit, but it's still very low, and it now holds 30 rounds in the magazine with 120 rounds in reserve of .40 Smith & Wesson rounds. Everything else listed here remains the same. This conversion gives the UMP a, frankly, ridiculous range. While it can't perform as well at close range like the default 45 ACP ammo, this conversion lets you terrorize people at long ranges where snipers usually fight in. The recoil is a little bit lower, but it feels relatively the same since it does not reduce the model recoil. I would highly recommend using this conversion in larger maps like Ravat, Dunes, or even Derrick if you really like the UMP45. And as a very small tidbit, if you can handle the recoil, plus P might be a good option as well. Now, I don't actually have anything super notable for this section, but I'd like to dedicate some time to talking about long barrel. It's somewhat notable, but it entirely depends on your personal preference. On the 45 ACP ammo, long barrel doesn't actually help your 3-shot kill range, but it does help your 4-shot kill range. So if that's something that interests you, you can go for it. With plus P, it does help the 3-shot kill range a little bit, but plus P also adds quite a bit of recoil, so you might want to prioritize on that. On the 40 Smith & Wesson conversion, it significantly improves your range, but at the same time, that conversion already has a ton of range, so yeah, it's all up to your needs. As a final note, I would recommend using a pistol grip to help with model recoil though. And that concludes this episode of Phantom Forces Weapons Spotlight. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.